10 interesting facts about ants. Ants are one of the most common pests encountered in homes and businesses. There are more than 10,000 known ant species found across the globe and are a subject of constant study by entomologists and scientists. Ants are truly fascinating creatures. Don't believe us? Here are 10 facts about ants that will definitely change your mind. Number 1. Ants have superhuman strength. Yes, you did read that correctly. Ants are ridiculously strong. They have the ability to carry between 10 and 50 times their own body weight. The amount an ant can carry depends on the species. The Asian were ant, for example, can lift 100 times its own mass. Why are ants strong? This amazing strength is a result of their small size, believe it or not. The Arizona State University reports that because of their small size, ants' muscles have a greater cross-sectional area relative to their body size compared to larger animals. This means they can produce more force. Number 2. Ants don't have lungs. Due to their small size, ants don't have the room to accommodate a complex respiratory system such as ours. Instead, they have their own ways of respiration to help transport oxygen around their bodies. How do ants breathe? Ants breathe in oxygen through spiracles, which are series of holes located on the side of their bodies. The spiracles are connected through a network of tubes which help distribute the oxygen to almost every cell in their body. And ants' movement helps the oxygen to circulate through the tubes, with the released carbon dioxide existing through said tubes as well. Number 3. Ants don't have ears. Unlike other pests, such as rats, ants don't have ears. But that doesn't mean they are deaf. How do ants hear? Ants use vibrations to hear, using them when foraging for food or as an alarm signal. Ants use the vibrations in the ground to hear by picking them up in the subgenual organ, which is located below the knee. Number 4. There are a lot of ants in the world. The phrase "a lot" is an understatement when describing the number of ants currently in existence. To put things in perspective, it is estimated that there are around 1 million ants for every one human in the world. Ants have pretty much conquered the entire globe. With the exception of Antarctica, the Arctic, and a handful of islands, there is at least one native species of ant found on every continent. Entomologist Ted Schultz says that ant presence across the world is arguably the greatest success story in the history of terrestrial metazoa. Number 5. Some ant species are asexual. Rather than going down the traditional route of reproduction, some Amazonian ants have taken to reproduce via cloning. It is reported that the queen ant copy themselves to genetically produce daughters, resulting in a colony with no male ants. Number 6. Ants are farmers. You may be thinking, what? But it's true. Besides humans, ants are the only creatures that will farm other creatures. Just like we raise cows, sheep, pigs, chicken, and fish in order to obtain a food source, ants will do the same with their insects. The most common occurrence of this is with aphids. Ants will protect aphids from natural predators and shelter them in their nets from heavy rain showers in order to gain a constant supply of honeydew. Number 7. Ants have two stomachs. That's right, ants have two stomachs. And it's not because they are greedy. One of their stomachs is for holding food for their own consumption. And the second one is to hold food to be shared with other ants. This process is known as tophallaxis and allows an ant colony to work extremely efficiently. It allows for the ants who forage for food to feed those which stay behind and tend to the duties of the queen and the nest. Number 8. Ants can swim. Well, not all ants can swim. It depends on the species. They haven't mastered the butterfly or breaststroke yet, but they do have the ability to survive in water by using their own version of the doggy paddle, and can also float for long periods of time. To put it simply, ants are amazing survivors. Not only can they hold their breath underwater for long periods of time, but they will also build lifeboats to survive floods. It can be especially dangerous when fire ants do this. Number 9. Ants are slave makers. This may sound strange, but hear us out. Some species of ant, such as an Polygrus lucidus, are known as slave-making ants. They invade neighboring ant colonies, capturing its inhabitants and forcing them to work for them. This process is known as slave raiding. Slave-making ants are specialized to parasite a single species or a group of related species which are often close to relatives to them. The captured ants will work as if they were in their own colony, while the slave-making workers will only concentrate on replenishing their labor force. Number 10. Ants are as old as dinosaurs. A study from Harvard and Florida State Universities discovered that ants first rose during the Cretaceous period around 130 million years ago. They have survived the Cretaceous tertiary that killed the dinosaurs as well as the Ice Age. Seven facts about bears. Bears are one of the most intelligent land animals in North America. They have the largest and most complex brains compared to the other land mammals their size, and they rely on this brain for a number of behaviors. Bears are among the most beloved wild animals. World Animal Protection has been working to protect bears for more than 30 years from cruelty and abuse in the entertainment and traditional medicine industries. The following facts about bears are just a few reasons why these mighty lovable animals need our protection. Here we are going to give you 7 amazing facts about bears. Number 1. Layers on layers. Bears have thick, layered coats. Bears are certainly big and fluffy, but there's a lot more than meets the eye. A polar bear's coat is made up of 2 unique layers. The shorter coat provides insulation from weather, while the longer coat prevents water from reaching the short coat layer and skin. Each layer serves a unique purpose and allows bears to thrive in frigid conditions. Number 2. Bears are big, strong and fast. Grizzly bears possesses a biting force of over 1200 psi, which is enough to crush a bowling ball or an iron skillet. Adult grizzly bear can run up to an incredible 40 mph, the same pace as a greyhound, and would break the speed limit of many roads in the US. Polar bears, the largest of all bear species, can weigh between 900 to 1500 pounds and grow approximately 6 to 10 feet long. With all of these incredible physical traits, it's no wonder that bears have proven themselves to be dominant predators in the wild. Number 3. There are 8 bear species in the world. There are 8 different species of bear: North American black bears, brown bears, polar bears, Asiatic black bears, also known as moon bears due to the white crescent moon shaped marking on their chest, Andean bears, panda bears, sloth bears, and sun bears. Each species is recognizable by its distinct size, markings, and characteristics. For example, sloth bears have adorable rounded ears, a cream-colored snout, and a unique V or Y-shaped white mark on their chest. Number 4. One small step. Bears can walk on their hind legs. Bears can walk a short distance on their hind legs. Bears typically stand on their hind legs to get a better view or scent of what's in front of them. This ability is cruelly exploited in bear dancing, as bears are able to shuffle in a way that makes it seem like they are dancing. Number 5. Bears have a high IQ. Perhaps one of the lesser known facts about bears is that they are among the most intelligent land animals in North America. They have the largest and most complex brains compared to other land mammals their size, and they rely on this brain for a number of behaviors. For example, grizzly bears can remember hot spots for food even after 10 years, and some have even been observed covering their tracks or hiding behind rocks and trees to avoid detection by hunters. Grizzly bears have also learned to camouflage their scent by rolling around in rotting flesh to sneak up on prey. Number 6. Sloth bears use their lips like a vacuum. The sloth bear has specially developed lips just for its eating habits, and the feature is so prominent that it has earned the creature the alternative name of the labiated bear. In addition to eating fruits and flowers in its native India, the sloth bear loves to feast on ants and termites. It does so by using its long lower lip, which can be wrapped around the outer edge of its nose, creating a kind of suction hose out of the end of its snout. And because it lacks upper incisor teeth, it is able to easily suck up a metal of insects. In this regard, it's more similar to an anteater than other bears. Apparently, the sound of a sloth bear eating is loud and slurpy due to the powerful suction created by its lips. It even has special hairs on its nose that can close its nostrils when eating so no insects crawl up. Number 7. Brown bears are the most widespread. Native to Europe, Asia, Africa, and North America, the brown bear once roamed around the globe. Its range has shrunk significantly in modern times due to development and the species becoming locally extinct in certain areas. Still, bear conservation states that its population remains relatively stable as it retains the status of being the most widely distributed of all bears. Now, the brown bear can be found throughout Europe, Asia, and North America. The largest populations are in Russia, the United States, and Canada, with other major ones in the Carpathian region of Romania, the Balkans, and Scandinavia. Some subspecies of the brown bear, such as the Gobi bear in Mongolia, are considered very rare. Top 10 facts about bees. Bees are winged insects closely related to wasps and ants, known for their roles in pollination, and in the case of the best known bee species, the western honeybee, for producing honey. Bees are monophyletic lineage within the superfamily Apoidea. They are presently considered a clade called Anthophilia. There are over 16,000 known species of bees in 7 recognized biological families. Some species, including honeybees, bumblebees, and stingless bees, live socially in colonies, while most species, including mason bees, carpenter bees, leafcutter bees, and sweat bees, are solitary. Bees are found on every continent except Antarctica, in every habitat on the planet that contains insect-pollinated flowering plants. The most common bees in the northern hemisphere are the helictide or sweat bees, but they are small and often mistaken for wasps or flies. Bees feed on nectar and pollen, the former primarily as an energy source and the latter primarily for protein and other nutrients. Most pollen is used as food for their larvae. Vertebrate predators of bees include primates and birds such as bee-eaters, insect predators including bee voles and dragonflies. Bee pollination is important both ecologically and commercially, and the decline in wild bees has increased the value of pollination by commercially managed hives of honeybees. In this video, we are going to talk about top 10 facts about bees. Number 1. Busy pollinating bees. Almost 90% of wild plants and 75% of leading global crops depend on animal pollination. 1 out of every 3 mouthfuls of our food depend on pollinators such as bees. Crops that depend on pollination are 5 times more valuable than those that do not. Number 2. Honey, I'm home. Social bees such as honeybees and bumblebees often live in hives or nests above or below the ground, while most solitary bees nest in the ground. Bees can be found in so many locations, some surprising. These include marshes, single, sand dunes, soft cliffs, heathlands, wetlands, chalk grasslands, quarries, gravel pits, sea walls, and even post-industrial land. Number 3. UK bees are being helped by a beeline transport system. Imagine trying to travel around Britain without a road and rail network. Or imagine if 9 out of every 10 miles of road just didn't exist. Life would be impossible. Beelines are an imaginative and beautiful solution to the problem of the loss of flowers and pollinators. The beelines are a series of insect pathways running through our countryside and towns. They link existing wildlife areas together, creating a network like a railway that will weave across the British landscape. Number 4. Bringing a bee back to life. If you find a bumblebee which appears to be struggling, it may be that it is just resting, particularly if the bee is a queen in early spring. If you think the bee is struggling, the best thing to do is gently put the bee onto a bee-friendly flower. If there are no bee-friendly flowers around, mix 50-50 white sugar and water to give the bumblebee a one-off energy boost, providing the carbohydrates it needs to fly. Simply offer a drop or two of sugar water up to the front end of the bee on a teaspoon or an upturned drink's cap in a sheltered place and allow the bee time to recuperate. Number 5. Anyone, including you, can help a bee out. We can all do our bit to help bees, whether that's in our gardens, balconies, or windows. You can also chat to friends and family about how cool bees are and help them to make their wild space bees friendly. Plant a range of flowers in your garden so bees have access to nectar from March to October. Bees love traditional cottage garden flowers and native wildflowers like primrose, foxglove, and marigolds. Number 6. Bees actually have 4 wings. The 2 wings each side hook together to form one larger pair when flying and then unhook when they are not flying. Number 7. Bee geese. Honeybees have a dance move called the waggle dance. It's not actually a dance move at all, rather a clever way of communicating between themselves to tell their nestmates where to go to find the best source of food. It took the researchers at Sussex University 2 years to decode that waggle dance. Number 8. The brainy bunch. The buff-tailed bumblebee has a brain the size of a poppy seed. Each is incredible given the fact scientists have managed to train them to score a goal in bee football in return for a sugary treat. Quite unbelievable. Number 9. They have surprisingly smelly feet. Scientists from the University of Bristol have discovered that bumblebees have the ability to use their smelly footprints to distinguish between their own scent, the scent of a relative, and the scent of a stranger. This means they can improve their success in finding food and avoid flowers that already have been visited. Number 10. A dinner for queens. If the queen bee dies in a honeybee hive, the workers can create a new queen bee. They do this by selecting a young larva and by feeding it special food called royal jelly. The larva will develop into a fertile queen. Ten fascinating facts about butterflies. Who doesn't enjoy witnessing one of these winged beauties in flight? From their brightly colored bodies to the effortless motion that seems in sync with some unheard symphony, butterflies are an insect each of us can appreciate. But how much do we know about them? This list includes 10 cool facts that are sure to make you think about butterflies in a whole new way. Number 1. Butterfly wings are transparent. Before you feel the need to schedule an eye exam, let us explain. The wings of a butterfly are covered in a multitude of miniature scales, thousands of them. And those colors you see when a butterfly flits across your yard are the reflection of various colors through the scales. The wings themselves are made up of a protein called chitin, which is the same protein that forms an insect's exoskeleton. And much like an exoskeleton, chitin is transparent. You learned something new already. Number 2. There are almost 20,000 butterfly species. If you'd ever considered memorizing all the various species of butterflies, it may take longer than you were anticipating. An easier starting point would be those species regularly occurring in the lower 48 states of the US. Still, that number is right around 575. So we are recommending note cards or perhaps focusing on the butterflies you find in and around your yard this spring and summer. Number 3. Butterflies use their feet to taste. If everything up until this point was already a part of your existing butterfly knowledge, this fact may come as curveball. However, if you think about it from the butterfly's point of view, it isn't that unusual. The butterfly's daily activities consist of eating and mating, both of which require landing, even if it is only briefly. When food is the priority, those taste receptors help the butterfly locate the right plants and the key nutrients it needs for survival. Although many people wonder that it means when a butterfly lands on them, the truth is that it's probably just hungry. Number 4. Butterflies only live for a few weeks. For everyone who has been anxiously awaiting this since our earlier reference, or who simply skipped ahead until they found it, here you go. The average lifespan of an adult butterfly is roughly 3 to 4 weeks. However, the entire life cycle can last anywhere between 2 and 8 months. As with anything, there are exceptions to the rule. At least one species of butterfly lives for approximately 24 hours, while some migratory butterflies, like the North American monarch, can survive for nearly 8 months. Number 5. The common butterfly in the US is the cabbage white, named for its mostly white marking, with hints of yellow and green like the vegetable. The cabbage white may not be the most colorful butterfly in your garden or yard, but it is the most common. The male cabbage white has one prominent black spot on each wing, while the female has 2. Number 6. Some butterfly species migrate from the cold. Although in many cases cold weather will end the already short life of a butterfly by rendering them immobile, others take the dropping temperature as a signal to move. Butterflies are cold-blooded and require, in ideal settings, a body temperature of approximately 85 degrees to activate their fight muscles. If the weather begins changing, some species simply migrate in search of sunshine. Some, like the North American monarch, travel an average of 2,500 miles. Number 7. One of the largest butterflies is the giant swallowtail butterfly. With a wingspread of between 4 and 7 inches, this species has a name that fits its dimensions. If you have ever seen one on a hike or around your yard, you may have been spellbound by the sight of it. Their swallowtail description is borrowed from birds of the same name, thanks to the long tails on these butterflies' hindwings. Number 8. Butterflies have a liquid diet. We mentioned earlier that butterflies like to eat, which is true. What we didn't include at the time is that their source of food is exclusively liquid. In fact, they simply don't have necessary apparatus for chewing. Using their proboscis, which functions in the same way you or I might use a straw, butterflies drink nectar or some other variation of liquid substance. Number 9. Butterfly wings help them against predators. As we've discussed, the lifespan of the average butterfly is short, and even at their peak, these insects are some of the most fragile. Staying alive for as long as possible allows the butterfly additional opportunities to mate, and continuing the existence of its species is of utmost importance. Therefore, butterflies frequently use their wings as a defense mechanism, either by folding to blend in with their surroundings or wearing a full spectrum of colors and patterns to frighten predators. A butterfly's wings are often their best protection. Number 10. Butterflies actually have 4 wings, not 2. Speaking of wings, we may have intentionally left the most fascinating butterfly fact until last. Despite how they may appear in motion or in drawings or paintings, you may have seen butterflies have 4 separate wings. The wings closest to its head are called the forewings, while those in the rear are called the hindwings. Thanks to strong muscles in the butterfly's thorax, all 4 wings move up and down in a figure 8 pattern during flight. Ten incredible deer facts. Deer are among the most widespread animals in the world today. They are quite recognizable, and their antlers remain their most popular feature. However, there are certain facts about deer that are not well known yet very fascinating. Therefore, we have compiled 10 incredible facts about deer that you may not have been aware of. Number 1. There are about 40 species of deer. When the word deer is mentioned, usually just 1 or 2 species come to our mind. However, there are about 40 different species of deer. Notably, even though deer are quite widespread, a good number of them are endangered. Some of the popular deer species include white-tailed deer, red deer, caribou, moose, elk, mule deer. Number 2. Disney's Bambi is modeled after the white-tailed deer. Deer have appeared on the big screen and have enjoyed Hollywood fame thanks to the Disney classic Bambi, a story that revolves around a young deer trying to find its way in life. Bambi, as depicted in the movie, is a white-tailed deer that is most commonly found in North America. It is interesting to note that the species used in the movie is quite different from the one used in the book, the roe deer. The major reason for this may be the need to use a deer that was recognizable in the United States for the movie. Number 3. Deer may be vegetarians, but they still cause more human deaths than sharks in the United States. Generally speaking, deer are harmless to human beings since they are vegetarians and will usually not attack human beings. However, statistics show that they still cause about 120 to 200 deaths per year in the United States, which is more deaths than are caused by sharks. These deaths are usually caused by car accidents involving deer crossing on the road, and they are most common during mating season when the animals are not in a way mindful of the road. Deer-caused accidents generally involve drivers who swerve to avoid hitting deer and instead hit an upcoming vehicle or lose control of the vehicle. Number 4. Deer will be really good at sports. Deer can do a wide range of physical activities quite impressively. They are good sprinters, they can jump, and they are excellent swimmers. When it comes to jumping, an average deer can jump as high as 8 to 10 feet high. Therefore, you want to ensure that your deer fences are higher than that. Furthermore, some deer can achieve a speed of 45 mph, making them pretty fast. Number 5. Mother deer will respond to the cries of a human baby. It is expected that mothers respond to the cries of their young ones, and we may even expect humans to respond to the cries of puppies or kittens. However, scientists have observed that mother deer will respond to the cries of human babies as well as other mammals like they would their own children. Number 6. Reindeer are the only kind of deer whose females have antlers. It is a general rule that only male deer grow antlers. However, in the case of reindeer, that rule doesn't apply. The female reindeer grows antlers for two primary reasons. The first is to defend food, and the second is to protect themselves during pregnancy. It is important to note that the antlers of female reindeer are significantly smaller than those of their male counterparts. Female reindeer grows antlers that are about 20 inches long, while the males grow antlers that are about 50 inches long. Number 7. Some deer have fangs instead of antlers. One of the immediately recognizable features of deer is their antlers. However, there are deer species that lack antlers and possesses fangs instead. Two species of deer that possesses fangs are the Siberian musk deer and the water deer. They are popularly referred to as fanged or vampire deer. Water deer are native to both Korea and China, while Siberian musk deer are mostly found in southern Siberia and parts of Mongolia. Number 8. The moose is the largest species of deer. Moose are an incredibly large deer species with adult males weighing about 1200 to 1600 lbs. The females are generally smaller, weighing 800 to 1200 lbs, and the largest ever recorded moose weighed 1808 lbs. Unlike many deer species, moose spend most of their time on their own except during the breeding season. The species ranges widely in North America, including Alaska, Canada, and the northeastern US. There are also isolated populations of moose in the Rocky Mountain range, occurring as far south as Colorado and Utah. Number 9. Deer shed their antlers. It is common to see adult male deer without antlers during certain times of the year because they have shed them and are regrowing them. Most deer species shed their antlers once a year, though the exact time may differ among individuals. Usually, however, deer shed their antlers either in late fall or in early winter. Number 10. Deer can be occasionally carnivorous. Deer are generally herbivorous and survive on vegetation. However, on occasion, some species of deer have been spotted eating meat in the form of live birds, fish, and dead rabbits. In fact, in a rather rare sighting, a white-tailed deer was spotted eating the remains of human bones. Some experts explain that deer pursue flesh when lacking minerals like phosphorus and calcium, especially in the winter when vegetation is scarce. Top 10 facts about elephants. Elephants are the largest existing land animals. 3 living species are currently recognized: the African bush elephant, the African forest elephant, and the Asian elephant. They are the only surviving members of the family Elephantidae and the order Proboscidea. The order was formerly much more diverse during the Pleistocene, but most species became extinct during the late Pleistocene epoch. Distinctive features of elephants include the long proboscis called a trunk, tusks, large ear flaps, pillar-like legs, and tough but sensitive skin. The trunk is used for breathing and is prehensile, bringing food and water to the mouth and grasping objects. Tusks, which are derived from the incisor teeth, serve both as weapons and as tools for moving objects and digging. Elephants are scattered throughout sub-Saharan Africa, South Asia, and Southeast Asia, and are found in different habitats, including savannas, forests, deserts, and marshes. They are herbivores, and they stay near water when it is accessible. They are considered to be keystone species due to their impact on their environments. From this video, we are going to give you top 10 amazing facts about elephants. Number 1. They are the world's largest land animal. The African savanna bush elephant is the world's largest land animal, with adult males or bull elephants standing up to 3 meters high and weighing up to 6,000 kg on average. Males only reach their full size at 35 to 40 years. That's well over half their lifespan, as wild elephants can live for up to 60 to 70 years. And it's not just the adults, even cows are huge. At birth, a baby elephant can weigh 120 kilograms. That's almost 19 stone. Number 2. You can tell the three species apart by their ears. There are three species of elephant: African savanna, bush elephant, African forest, and Asian. The ears of African elephants are much larger than their cousins and are described as being shaped like the African continent, whereas the ears of Asian elephants are shaped like the Indian subcontinent. There's also a trunk difference. African elephants have 2 fingers at the tip of their trunks, whereas Asian elephants have 1. Number 3. Their trunks have mad skills. Elephants have around 150,000 muscle units in their trunk. Their trunks are perhaps the most sensitive organ found in any mammal. Asian elephants have been seen to pick up peanut, shell it, blow the shell out, and eat the nut. Elephants use their trunks to suck up water to drink. It can contain up to 8 liters of water. They also use their trunks as a snorkel when swimming. Number 4. Their tusks are actually teeth. Elephant tusks are actually enlarged incisor teeth which first appear when elephants are around 2 years old. Tusks continue growing throughout their lives. Tusks are used to help with feeding, prizing bark of trees, or digging up roots, or as a defense when fighting. But these beautiful tusks often cause elephants danger. They are made from ivory, a much desired object. Number 5. They've got thin skin. An elephant's skin is 2.5 centimeters thick in most places. The folds and wrinkles in their skin can retain up to 10 times more water than flat skin does, which helps to cool them down. They keep their skin clean and protect themselves from sunburn by taking regular dust and mud baths. Number 6. Elephants are constantly eating. Elephants eat grasses, leaves, shrubs, fruits, and roots depending on the season and their habitat. When it's particularly dry, elephants will eat more woody parts of trees and shrubs like twigs, branches, and barks. They need to eat up to 150 kilograms of food per day. That's around 375 tins of baked beans, although half of this may leave the body undigested. Elephants eat so much that they can spend up to 3/4 of their day just eating. Number 7. They communicate through vibrations. Elephants communicate in a variety of ways, including sounds like trumpet calls. Some sounds are too low for people to hear, body language, touch, and scent. They can also communicate through seismic signals, sounds that create vibrations in the ground which they may detect through their bones. Number 8. A baby elephant can stand within 20 minutes of birth. Amazingly, elephant cows are able to stand within 20 minutes of being born and can walk within 1 hour. After 2 days, they can keep up with the herd. This incredible survival technique means that herds of elephants can keep migrating to find food and water to thrive. Number 9. An elephant never forgets. The elephant's temporal lobe, The area of the brain associated with memory is larger and denser than that of people, hence the saying elephants never forget. Number 10. Around 90% of African elephants have been whipped out in the past century. Around 90% of African elephants have been whipped out in the past century, largely due to the ivory trade, leaving an estimated 415,000 wild elephants alive today. Asian elephants are also under threat, having declined by at least 50% in the last 3 generations. There are only around 45,000 left in the wild. As their habitat changes, fragments, and is lost to human settlements and agriculture, populations of Asian elephants are finding it harder to follow their traditional migration routes to reach water, feeding, and breeding grounds, and they are coming into often dangerous contact with people. Facts you might not know about rabbits. Rabbits are one of the most misunderstood pets in UK. Have a watch of our top facts you might not know about rabbits. Number 1. They can live to 12 years and sometimes longer. Have you ever wondered how long rabbits live? Rabbits are often quoted as having a lifespan of around 5 years. However, they can actually live to a maximum of 12 years, with small breeds living longer than their larger cousins. This low estimate is often due to a lack of understanding of their needs and the assumption that they are children's pets. Most well-looked after rabbits live to around 7 to 10 years. So with the right environment and care, they make great long-term companions. Number 2. Rabbits need company. Rabbits are incredibly sociable. So keeping a pair of rabbits will greatly improve their quality of life. A pair of rabbits will give each other essential companionship, warmth during the winter, and important grooming to areas they can't reach themselves, such as around their eyes. It's often advised that a neutered male and female rabbit make the best pairing, but as long as they are neutered and bonded, any combination of rabbits can live together. If you have the space, rabbits can also be kept in larger groups. Many websites suggest that a genuine pig makes a good companion for a rabbit. But unfortunately, this isn't true. Although some rabbit-pig pair get on well, many more end in fights and injuries. As well as needing different diets, a rabbit will often bully the pig, and the pig is unable to provide the natural social function of another rabbit. Number 3. They are natural recyclers. As part of their natural diet, rabbits eat a specific kind of their own droppings called caecotrophs. These are full of protein and vitamin B, and your rabbit eats them to maximize the nutrients they get from their food. Caecotrophs are much shinier and smellier than typical rabbit droppings, and you shouldn't often see them as a rabbit will eat them straight away. If you notice a lot of caecotrophs in your rabbit's hutch or run, there may be an issue with their diet, or they may not be able to reach their bottom. Number 4. Their teeth never stop growing. Rabbit teeth continue to grow throughout their lives, so it's important to feed them mossy grass and hay, which helps wear down the teeth to a normal size. The act of chewing on hay plus the natural abrasive qualities of silica in grass naturally wears the teeth to prevent them from becoming too long. Rabbits that don't eat enough hay can quickly develop dental diseases, one of the most common health problems in rabbits. This can result in overgrown teeth and painful spurs that cut into the gums and tongues and restrict their ability to eat. Number 5. Muesli rabbit food encourages bad feeding rabbits. Many commercial muesli type rabbit foods actually promote unhealthy selective eating in rabbits. This is because they often only pick out the bites they like, leaving essential nutrients in the bowl. They also don't provide the chewing action needed to keep their teeth in check. Number 6. It's not all about carrots. Many people are surprised to find out that root vegetables are a natural part of the rabbit's diet. Carrots are too high in sugar and should only be an occasional treat. Rabbits' main food should be hay, making up around 80% of their diet, supplemented by a small number of fresh vegetables, around 15% of their diet, and finished off with around 5% of good quality pellet food. Number 7. They drink a lot. Rabbits need a constant supply of water. A rabbit that weighs 2 pounds will drink as much water in a day as a dog that weighs 10 pounds. A water bowl is preferable to a bottle as they are easier to drink from, easier to keep clean, and don't become blocked. Remember to change your rabbit's water daily and clean their bowls and bottles regularly. Number 8. Rabbits can't vomit. Rabbits are very hygienic and self-groom in much the same way that a cat does. However, the rabbit digestive system does not move in reverse, meaning rabbits cannot bring up hairballs. They deal with the swallowed fur by eating plenty of roughage. This enables them to push it through their digestive tract. Number 9. Rabbits express their happiness through binkies. A fun fact about rabbits is that when they are at their most happy, they make an expression that's commonly called a binky. When a rabbit binky, they jump up into the air and twist their head and body in opposite directions, either from standing still or running. A quick flick of the head and ears is also called a half binky, which is another sign of playfulness. A binky is your rabbit's way of telling you that they are happy with you and their life is general, so keep up the good work. Number 10. A rabbit's body language is less obvious when they are worried. If a rabbit is worried or anxious, their body language is much more subtle. They clench the position of their body. It's only really noticeable if you are looking for it. This often means their mood is misunderstood. This makes it especially important to keep a lookout for symptoms of common disease or infections.